Thank you for coming to our meeting, a regular board meeting of the Calexico Unified School District. Today is Thursday, October 11th, 2012, and we are beginning our meeting at 6:05. Ms. Burgos, can you please do roll call?
Yes, trustees present tonight are Kim, Valenzuela, Romo, and Duarte. With Trustee Aguilar absent, you have a quorum.
Just to inform you for the minutes, Ms. Aguilar will be a little late. She went to the wake of Justin Duron, and she is representing the board over there to give her our condolences. Mr. Pesqueira, can you lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I please have you guys remain standing for 1 minute in order to pay condolences to the Duron's family. We understand that we had one last time, but again, their son, Justin Duron, passed away after our board meeting. Thank you. Thank you. Moving on to item C, approval of agenda.
So moved. Second.
So moved by Ms. Romo, seconded by Mr. Valenzuela. Discussion. Mr. Kim?
Why don't we have changes J and K after comments comment from the public and the board comment? I think we
Excuse
used
me?
to have it the comment from the public first, and the board members' comment is next. They put the equal board comment first, and then
It's okay.
the comment from the publics.
Was that changed after Ms. Burgos? Item J?
That is the item that I was asked to move up to the board members' comments first.
Correct, and it was going to be after before superintendent's report.
Yeah,
It was going to be moved up to superintendent's report with the 3 minutes per board member. So,
comment after the comment from the
oh,
public.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, J and K will be moved up to
To the
F
F.
and F and G.
Well, actually, what is that reason?
The J and K, just J and K. Just
Well, we
change it.
have to have public comments from the public.
Yeah, public
remember
comment
the
first.
discussion, Ms. Burgos? But those are for closed session only. And then we have to have comments from the public for regular meeting.
Mr. Kim.
So we have closed session from the public, closed session, and then it should be board members' comments. Reconvene from open session, from closed session. And then board members' comments, and then superintendent's report, and then comments from the public.
I was requesting the comment from the public first, and the board members' comment is after. We usually use when we put the board comment was after the public comment, then we have a board comment is there.
So you're suggesting to put the comments from the public after reconvene from open session?
No, I'm talking about we leave that one there, and J and K just change it.
Change it to where, Mr.
To
Kim?
J and K just exchange it, switch it. Switch the order. So after public comment, and then
Yes, but we
first and
were
then
going to
board
do
comments.
board members' comments before the superintendent's report.
No, I was talking about the J and K change
No,
it.
we were, because we were going to make a presentation from our conference that we went this weekend. And we wanted the majority of the people to be here so that we could be heard. If we leave it to the end, there will be 2-3 people in the audience.
Madam President, if I may, Mr. Kim could make the motion, and it sounds like he's trying to make a motion to invert the order of J and K.
Okay.
And then he would need a second, obviously, to amend the agenda.
Okay, so do you want to make that motion, Mr. Kim?
Yes, that's my
So
suggestion.
two motions. One,
But actually, if no one doesn't second my motion, this is a motion dies.
well, make your motion.
Yeah, this is my make motion to
You
switch it
remove
J and K.
Your first and second, right? To approve the agenda as is.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr.
I
Kim.
amend the motion. I'm amending the motion to the switch it J and K. Then approve the agenda, rest of them.
Okay, do I,
J and K is switch it.
Yes,
Okay.
switch.
and I would like to, I
That's it.
I would like to second your motion, but move board members' comments on top before superintendent's report.
For what?
So they'll be sitting on top of superintendent's report, both of them. The way you want it. Comments from the public, and then board members, and then superintendent's report.
But my amendment was J and K switch it.
J and K, K.
Because of one of the reason I'm telling, because after you hear the public comment, board can comment something.
And I understand I understand, but I want to move those up on the agenda. I don't want to keep them at the bottom. Because even though we switch them, they're still going to be at the bottom.
So it would read F, K, J, G.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Okay, I second Mr. Kim's motion. All in favor of the motion?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Okay, so now we move to item D, comments from the public in closed session, items only. Anybody would like to speak on the comments of closed session only? We do have a parent for the record that would like to speak in regards to one of the items in closed session, but in closed session. Okay. Okay. So item number E, now we will go into closed session at 6:15. We will reconvene at 7:15, unless we get out sooner. In the meantime, we will have Jaime play the state takeover meeting that we had, that we were invited. Mr. Fagali, Ms. Aguilar, Mr. Chad Cooper, and Mr. Kim attended the meeting, and they will play it for you. And once those are done, then you guys can see the entire tape. Well, you won't see the entire tape because it's 3 hours, but it'll keep you entertained throughout our closed session. Are reconvening from closed session at 7:25. And Ms. Bermudez?
No reportable actions for closed session at this time. Thank you.
See? Student discipline?
Because the student has an opportunity to appeal the decision, we would normally wait until they've exhausted their appeal process before reporting the action. Similar to the employee personnel.
Thank you, Ms. Bermudez. Just to notify you that we were not done with closed session, so after the last item on the board agenda, we will be going to closed session.
The parent is still here.
Yeah, you can explain to her. Okay, so now we are moving to comments from the public. And our first speaker is Dr. Asiat.
I didn't sort it, so I won't.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's nothing.
Good evening, board members. Good evening, audience.
Good evening.
I am a little bit disappointed with teachers and counselors, but the ratio of counselors to students 1,400 to 1. I'm being sarcastic. So we have 1,400 counselors to one teacher, to one student. I mean, this is some. I
One
don't
stu-
think
one
it's the opposite. We
Yes.
have one counselor to 1,400 students, and this is not going to work. You know, I don't think the counselors are going to do their job effectively, and I don't think we can establish. So we're just paying one counselor to do nothing, because if he's going to be running between the high school and the junior high, he can do nothing. And the job of the counselor to see when it's alarming, if we have students falling behind, to notify the parents or whatever. So I think we need to fix this ratio. It's too high. And I think you agree with me. This is not easy condition to work. Plus, now I think we need to bring up the cafeteria. I think we only have a cafeteria for 200 students, and we are at almost 2,100 students. It is no way to house these kids. And I'm looking into how, if we can raise money to build a new cafeteria from donation or, organization. I'm thinking about it, and we want to bring it up and see how we can all work together, maybe through fundraising, to see how much would cost us to build a new cafeteria to house 2,000 students. At the meantime, I think we need to figure, I was discussing with Mr. Vasquera about having 2 lunches, but I don't know if it works or not, because I think there's a lot of problems coming during lunch with the students. They're not under control, and this is an issue we need to look into it. The other thing, myself, I have started a meeting between the PD of Calexico and trying to figure out how we can come up with a joint meeting with the school district and the community principals and superintendent and the community. And I have heard from the PD that they maybe have some money to have 3 officers from the drug money that can be hired at the high school to fill the problem or solve some of the problem. So I think we need all to work together. The other issue is, I think Mrs. Durazo is back home, which is a good news. She's recuperating from her surgery, and I think we need to give a little bit support from staff and community. I think I was the only one from the whole here area calling her and finding out how she's doing. So I encourage the district to have a little bit more communication with the staff, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Asiat. The majority of the speakers, never mind. For the comment from the public, that's all we have. We have comments for the next item, the public hearing, but not at this time. Hold on. No, that's an item. Okay, so now we move to board members' comments. Each board member has 3 minutes to make their comments. Mr. Kim?
Okay, I had several complaints from the parents. The library is not open. I believe the high school, Mr. Pesquera told me it's temporary opening right now. But elementary level, even I believe the junior high, they're now open complete. And library is reading that is our English base of our English education. and the library should be open to serve the kid. Actually, if we needed some kind of the request file for the librarians, some certain hours working at the library, and the other hours maybe we can help the office clerk, so they can be at least the students lunch time and before school time, after school time, certain hours open for the students, and we need to look into it that way. The other one is ACES program or SS programs. I believe we have a junior high right now, so we're missing the sports, and elementary level too. If we're using the ACES program properly, we can provide this sport, after school sport, especially in junior high level. They need to burn a lot of energy. They need engaging with the sports. And for example, you guys might know the football. We've been 5-0. We've been winning, and last time we lost with the Broly. Why? Because Broly, they have since young, they have program started, and we have the junior high level is gone. So we need to find some using the ACES program from the elementary level to junior, they can provide the sports. That I think is not only football, only all the sports and all the programs. We have a resource from the ACES program to bring it. And allow me to little more. And maybe you guys know in Korea right now is one of the country very highly demanding academic. And what they did, they pulled the last of a PE out. Did they came better? No. Now they put the PE back. Now students are having more interest in doing the school. They're enjoying more. So I believe we need to ACES program to provide our student service.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Mr. Valenzuela.
I guess Mr. Kim got me with my public comment, board member's comment, but I would like to second Mr. Kim's comment about the libraries. Mr. Pesqueira just informed me before the meeting started that we had the high school library open today. Was it today for the first time, Mr. Pesqueira? And we had a board meeting 2 weeks ago. I also want to address the elementary schools. We are affecting our students. They are on AR contracts, and we are affecting our students, and I would like to consider tonight giving direction to administration to set priority for the libraries. We're doing a disservice to our students by not opening these libraries. So please, let's consider that tonight, and hopefully administration can find a way to open these libraries. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Valenzuela. Mrs. Romo.
Thank you, Madam President. Mrs. Ambris, is possible the next meeting provide AP, the result, the APE and AYP for the next meeting?
I can actually provide you an update right now, but for the next, in part of my superintendent's report, I want to give you more of an explanation about that.
Perfect. Thank you, Ms. Andres. Okay, I also attended the California Latino School Board Association conference and want to share a part of a video with you regarding to seal of bilingualism. This was a session I found very interesting. Sir, may you show to the video, please? It's short, okay?
Bilingualism is the ability to speak 2 or more languages. Biliteracy is the ability to read and write in both languages, to do academic work in both languages, and it gives access to a whole world of books, literature, and intellectual thought that you need literacy for. So biliteracy is the ability to have that in 2 languages.
I didn't master the English language until I was in 5th grade. So it was really hard to come from a Spanish country to an English country where the only spoken language was English, and where you were technically lost.
English is my second language. Chinese is my first language. I came to America when I was 10. It was very, very challenging because I didn't even know how to read. By the end of 5th grade, my English was pretty good.
There is no question that this is now a global era. And for young people, one of the things that has become a real survival skill is the ability to communicate across national borders, across language barriers. They need to have those skills. That's what it means to be growing up in the 21st century, really, to be able to enter into that more global world. Our schools are not right now preparing kids for that. But a few school districts, visionary school districts, have made it a goal. And here in California, there's been our movement to create this seal of biliteracy, something that would be a statement on the part of school systems, school districts, and communities that, yes, this is an important skill, this is a valued skill, we recognize it, and we celebrate it.
I wanted to learn another language because I think that we shouldn't just expect everyone to speak our language. Like, I think it's really cool to be able to say, yes, I'm willing to learn your language so I can talk to you in your language rather than expecting you to just be able to communicate with me.
Empezó hace 2 años en el banco de una plaza. Ahí, señor.
The seal of biliteracy is a seal on your diploma that says that you speak 2 languages fluently and proficiently. And that's a seal that we believe is going to be recognizable when students move on to either college or to a career, that they actually have this seal saying that they are proficient in another language. We wanted to think about that as an opportunity and a strength. And I hope that it becomes a badge of honor for students.
I really like speaking in Spanish because it's a new experience. You're thinking in a different way.
El perro del sereno, señores, había muerto.
Brain research shows that biliteracy is actually associated with greater brain flexibility. Young people who grow up learning both English and another language actually have better English as a result. Their proficiency in English is greater. Their academic achievement is usually better. And this is why we think that schools should be focusing on mastery of 2 or more languages.
Si las pegan del lado de opinión o si las pegan del lado de los hechos.
The ultimate goal of the bilingual program here is that the students will exit with academic English and academic Spanish. So that means reading, writing in both languages at a high level.
You are going to choose one sentence without looking. Choose one and choose one.
I do. Yes. Okay. Okay.
I am excited knowing that many school districts across the state are honoring their students with this seal on their diploma, as you have seen on this video. Our Spanish department has had great achievement with our students. It is time we acknowledged our students and teachers. Therefore, Mrs. Ambris, please advise the board on what the next steps are in making this seal of biliteracy and reality, please. And I do have with me a sample resolution for the seal for the San Diego Unified and Los Angeles Unified, but in Calexico High School, what is the situation, Mr. Pesqueira, in this program? This is Miss Kota aquí. Okay.
I know that Mrs. Cota, one of our Spanish teachers, had brought it up to my attention at the end of September. And she showed me the website, but then speaking to Mrs. Romo, she told me about this conference that you guys attended, and it's something that I truly welcome at Calexico High School, and I really hope that you guys implement some kind of an action and give our kids the opportunity. We have a lot of kids that are biliterate and bilingual, and this is a great opportunity. It would be easy. A lot of these kids are already at the proficiency advanced level in English, and they're also scoring, at proficiency and above in the AP classes. And it doesn't have to be that they have to be in AP classes to go ahead and challenge the exam. And I bet you a lot of these kids would pass the AP exam. So give those students the opportunity. It's nothing like putting that stamp of seal of biliteracy on their report card, not the report card, the diploma, or as well as their transcript.
Correct.
It'll open doors for admissions in colleges and future employment for a lot of our kids. So.
Very good.
Thank you, Mr.
Since Mr. Pesquera, can we add another third language, not only English and Spanish?
Absolutely. English has to be there. That's the
Yes,
primary
yeah,
language.
but another
and
third
I was
language.
just having a conversation with Mrs. Cota on that. The only foreign language that we offer at Calexico High School is Spanish. I'm not sure how foreign that is to Calexico, but I know that back in the day we used to offer French and German and I think even Japanese. But we don't have those teachers with those credentials to offer that. But I'm sure that if we have students that are their primary language could be German, or we have foreign students that come to our country, could they be biliterate and bilingual? Absolutely. We just don't have the AP tests that we can offer them here in Calexico, but I'm sure that researching that, I'm sure that we can either bring it to Calexico or these kids could take the test somewhere else. So, yes.
So, besides the Spanish, try to get another one.
Mrs. Romo?
Finally, today is the happy birthday for John Moreno. Congratulations.
Happy birthday, John.
He's asleep. That's it.
That's it, Mrs. Romo?
Thank you very much, Madam.
So I give him the good complimentary today. I said the chamaco looks like a chamaco.
I want to add my support to the comments made by Dr. Asaid in terms of the food. We've had this discussion quite often, and I think it's time that we move forward on it. I do want to share that I did some research. I downloaded a copy of our menu, and then I downloaded several copies of other school districts, some of them being in Orange County and in San Diego. When I looked at our menu, a lot of it was just mostly heat and serve. When I looked at the San Diego menus, there was including in the breakfasts things like granola and yogurt and fruit, fresh things. They also had the use of what we call the carritos in their menus. They call them food stations, and they implemented having different ethnic foods, or whether it was Italian, Chinese, deli, vegetarian. So we have students that are vegetarians that might those are things that we do not think, and I think we need to make a move towards offering more fresh produce, more and more in alignment with what Michelle Obama's initiative has been. So I think the time in terms of saying yes, we need to do something. Let's come and pass. Let's do something, please. And I'd like to request Ms. Ambrose, if you can maybe make contact. I'll forward you the menus that I had, and perhaps we can initiate a visit and observe what it is that they're doing and how they're doing. Among those things was also another program, but that's something else in terms of providing, integrating breakfast in the classroom, but that's a whole different story. Also want to share with you that I conveyed the condolences on behalf of the district to the Duron family. They expressed their deep appreciation for the moment of silence held for their dad, and I let them know that we also held a moment of silence for Justin tonight. Also want to share with the Calexico Unified School District family that students at San Diego State will be organizing a celebration of life for Justin in the next couple weeks at San Diego State. I'll forward some information. I know there's a lot of people here who were either Justin's teacher at some point in his life, and so I think you'd like to be part of that. I also, in conjunction with Mrs. Romo and Mrs. Duarte, attended the Latino conference. I have to confess with you that I was getting frustrated because it seemed that the majority of the sessions were more to promote some of the people, the vendors. But I finally did attend one one session that really made me sit up and look. Coachella Unified School District is taking a proactive action and movement in terms of their technology, implementing their technology policy. They implemented a 4,000 iPad program throughout their district, not just for those students, but it was also for the teachers and providing the training and the necessary training. They had such a great response to it that now they've taken up an initiative citywide to be able to provide an iPad for every single child in that district. Not only that, is also integrating upgrades to their technological systems, providing hands-on training for parents, and it also, through those iPads, it also provides a way for parents to keep track of what their students are doing. The other thing that they were doing, I thought was kind of neat, was they were using vehicles that weren't being used by the district as creating Wi-Fi hotspots, so that you essentially created a Wi-Fi citywide. So that's something that I would also like for us to take a look at, to maybe make a visit to Coachella and not just with board members. I'd like to see classified. I'd like to see teachers there. I'd like to see parents there. And that's all I have. The third thing, on dovetailing on what Mr. Kim said, there are Mandarin classes being offered at San Diego State free of charge for a community, and that includes high school students. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Aguilar. I just want to say that I attended the Latino conference also, and there was a lot of vendors there, but I attended a class that had to deal with school-based health centers. It actually talked about attendance and how low the attendance percentage has become at all schools, at all school districts. So they had, in LA Unified, they created a school-based health center where, in conjunction of clinics, hospitals, other community nonprofit organizations, they would, and the universities, they would get from the medical classes, they would get the nurses that had to do hours in order to get certificated as RNs or LVNs and stuff like that. The school side would provide an office, which would be like a healthcare center, and you would have all these nonprofit organizations there. And what these nonprofit organizations provided was, at the first day of school, they would provide the immunizations to all the children that were needing it. And all incoming, as they would come in, these organizations would pay for those immunizations, and it was just based at the school level. They talked about having the asthma. We have very high asthma here. A lot of our students take days before coming back to school. They would have the nebulizers and inhalers at the clinic, and the child would go to school, and the health tech and the health clerk would take them to the center if needed, and they would get medical assistance there and take them back to the school site. And all day long, you get ADA for those students, whether it's in junior high or high school or elementary school. Parents didn't have to take the day off. They could send them to school, and our health clerks at the school sites would take care of them. Also, these nurses that would have to make hours, they would volunteer. We wouldn't have to pay them. They would be doing their courses through that. And it was just innovating the way they did it. It came out to be that LA Unified was able to buy a mobile center, and the mobile clinic would go to each school site, move the bus from school to school every day and assist these kids. And in turn also, Medi-Cal, people that didn't have insurance, Medi-Cal would help donate. No, I don't think it would be Medi-Cal. I think it would be the government donate inhalers and stuff. Instead of our kids going to Mexicali and buying an inhaler, they would be provided there at the school site. So I thought that was very, very good in order to work on our attendance and get more ADA. And the other one, really quick, was the suspension and expulsion. We need to start looking at the students that are repetitions, and it starts in the classroom, to the counselor, to administration, to everybody be accountable that why are those students being absent or suspended, and not get to expulsion, because then our ADA goes out. So the trainings that I went were basically ADA and also food service, but she spoke on the food service. So my 3 minutes are up, and that's what I wanted to communicate to you guys as what we've learned this weekend. Thank you, board members, for your comments. Moving on to superintendent's report. Ms. Ambriz.
Yes, good evening. It's going to be very brief. One of the things that we're going to be bringing up to the next board meeting is a presentation regarding the academic results for the district that went online today, as a matter of fact, statewide. I'm sure many people can go to the CDE website, and as a district, Calexico Unified did go up 6 points in its API at this point. We're up at 705 from 699, and district-wide, we had schools that went up and we had schools that went down, and the lowest non-positive growth would be a negative 32 by one of our schools, as high as a positive 35 for another one of our schools. And the majority of our schools fell in double digits in positive growth, but that will be part of the presentation that will come in a couple of weeks. With regards to the seal of biliteracy, as a matter of fact, 2 teachers brought this item to me several weeks ago during the summer. One of them was Mrs. Nelida Rubio from Rockwood School, and the other one was Mrs. Yolanda Cota from Calexico High School. And I looked into the different criteria for it, and I certainly think that Calexico Unified Schools would be well served with the seal of biliteracy. And it was something that I charged Dr. Estrada to look into, and so he's compiling what the necessary requirements are for us to go through with the seal of biliteracy for our district. Okay. So it is something that is in action as we speak. As you know, our community has, especially our secondary schools, our students are, it's coming to light more and more, unfortunately, that there are severe drug issues in our community, and we cannot turn a blind eye to that. And one of the things that I can tell you is that Mr. Pesqueira and his staff at Calexico main campus and Calexico 9 are working arduously in trying to deter what's going on at our schools, and also they are working in coordination with Calexico Police Department in trying to find the more appropriate and proactive solutions for our students. But I cannot stress enough that it's a community effort, and just knowing that a few weeks ago there was a party in town that a lot of our students attended, and some students chose to walk away and some students did not, and I don't know if what happened last week is a result of that the activity, but it's a very rampant activity in our community that we as educators and as parents need to keep our eyes wide open, because it's going on not just in our schools, it's going on in our community, and it's going on the weekend, weeknights, during the day, and it's not just those kind of kids activity. It's an everybody's kids activity. So we cannot close our eyes to that. I think that's all I have to say for right now.
Thank you, Ms. Ambriz. Moving on to item H, public hearing, sufficiency and availability of textbooks or instructional materials for CUSD. Written or oral comments will be heard at this time regarding the consideration of adopting of a resolution stating that the district is in compliance with Education Code Section 60119 pertaining to the sufficiency and availability of textbooks or instructional materials for all pupils in Calexico Unified School District. I will now open the hearing for any public comments. And our first speaker for the open hearing is Mr. Cuevas, Vincent Cuevas.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for letting me talk. I was just going by experience. I've been substituting, and I noticed that they didn't have practice books with the history books, and I noticed that they used them. They used them up last year. What needs to be done is using common sense. Don't write in the workbooks. What you do is, use a projector on the workbook and save the workbook. Every 7 years we adopt a new book, new textbooks, and what I'm hoping for is that the savings on workbooks, maybe they could be saved instead of spending so much. Instead of coming to the conclusion that we don't have workbooks for this year, maybe if we had saved the history workbooks last year, we could be using them this year. So I guess what I'm referring to is my own experience, and my experience has shown that I had students copy, and I used a projector to project the history workbook, and that's the only reason I came up here to talk. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Humberto Wong.
Humberto Wong, and I'm a teacher at high school, and I was the department chair when we had our new modern biology textbook in the year around 2000. I think the last time that modern biology book was bought, the last set of books were bought in 2002. So that's about 10 years. And that's at the high school. I think the ninth grade, they have an adoption that was done recently, and we have another one, which is another company, and they're using, I don't know how many sections, how many students are using that one. But at the high school, the main book is the modern biology. I use Prentice Hall with my sheltered and primary language, and that one is like 2006 edition, and that book is more in line with the California standards. The modern biology, the 2002 edition, does not have all the upgrades that technology is bringing today. So it could be I think it was due like 4 years ago to get another set of books. However, the problems with the economics, and I think it was not there was no money, I guess, at that time. And maybe soon we can get a book for our, and also not only biology. I think the other science books are also have an age factor. And besides that, I want to just make my old cafeteria. That's where I ate. And we're coming, in 4 years, we're coming to the 50th anniversary. So maybe we can have our celebration in the cafeteria.
See
the
if
50th.
See if we fit.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Next speaker, Raúl Ureña.
Good evening, board. Is it on? Yeah. Good evening. My name's Raúl Ureña. I'm a sophomore at Calexico High School, and I came here today to comment on the lack of class sets for Calexico High School students. I have an example that happened to me as of Monday. My Spanish class had to give away its class set of books to another class because they didn't have sufficient Spanish books. So as a result, I'm forced to carry my Spanish textbooks from home and school and back to do my classwork and my homework. And for people like me who have a history of back problem, it isn't very pretty. As of Monday, I stopped riding my bike to school because the sheer weight of my backpack interfered with how I balanced myself on the bike. So now my mom has to waste gasoline on taking me to school every single day. During school, I get horrible backaches which interfere in how I learn, and they don't let me participate in physical education as well as I do. And these backaches continue throughout the whole day, and it's because of that textbook. And the backaches deprive me of the sleep, and the next day I wake up and it's just as bad as the previous day. However, I do consider myself lucky because I know that many of my friends not only have to carry their Spanish textbook, they also have to carry their biology textbook, which is 3 times bigger and heavier. I know it's not against the law not to have a book both at home and at school, but the board should look into this problem and try to find a solution so kids don't get hurt. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, there is no more speakers. I will close the public hearing.
As a board, can we have mentioned something?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, where is Williams Act compliance? We always say we have a book enough, compliance been reached. Where is it? Where is books? Has somebody, actually we don't receive the book we order, or we didn't receive the book as receipt said. We're receiving less than what receipt saying, because that's why we short of the books, or someone not doing their job. And we have a bunch of the money, I believe, couple $1 million for the book and supplies on budget. So I don't know what happens to us.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. No more speakers. The public hearing is now closed. We will move on to item I, Business District Presentations, Charlie Family Care Incorporated by Ben Horton.
Thank you, Board, distinguished members of the audience. My name is
the microphone
testing 1, 2, 3.
There you
Okay. My name is Ben Horton. I sit on the Charlie Family Care. I'm one of the board members. The reason I'm here today is to give an outline of what has taken place in reference to our program, which is called HELP. And this was a program that was initiated by one of your teachers who had this idea. She brought it to the board of Charlie and see if we could institute it, something to supplement what the students are learning in the classroom. And we're starting let's say we did start a tutoring program. It was a little rocky at first because we decided to use one of our homes that are here in Calexico. But we found out that we needed to revamp the home to make it more, let's say, more student-friendly. And we had to go at the same level of requirements that the school had to go through in order to set it up. The fire department was the main one. We had to adhere to the fire code, which was a pretty strenuous code in reference to what we had to do to revamp the house. At first, we thought we would just breeze through it. Not quite. We had to install a couple of $1,000 fire system, which somewhat halted the program, but the school district is nice enough to let us start from the location at the school. Now we have moved into the house, and the program have been pretty successful. We started off with about 10 kids. Now we're at about 30 kids, and we're getting kids from outside of the school district from Heber, and we're having some people from Hopeville that wanted to bring their kids from Hopeville to the program. Now this program, which is Dove Help, which is Help Education Learning Performance Program, is moving forward in Calexico. This is the test case. Charlie has their program throughout Riverside, Imperial County. One of the things that we're moving into is, and it ties into what Ms. Abriz talked about in reference to this drug program. We have had meetings with the fire department and the police department. We're putting together a program which is going to have a workshop for the parents so the parents can have a better understanding of what's going on. The program is moving forward to a point where we're taking new frontiers and we're moving forward on those frontiers. Now, you're asking yourself, why is Charlie doing this? Because we are part of the community. We're part of this whole valley, which is the community. And we figure that we want to be a player to show that we're not here to try to have any major decision making. We see a need and we're working toward the need. One of the other things we're working on, we're getting ready to start working together with San Diego State, which is going to offer a certificate program which teachers can take that's going to be on behavior. We're going to be writing up the grants, and this is something where the student teachers will be working also in the schools and also in our program, and they'll get a certificate to go into their teaching degree. So I just want to say Charlie is moving forward. We're moving forward to be part of the community. And if there's any questions, I'm ready to answer any questions. I guess that's no question.
What kind of tutoring do you have at Charlie?
Okay, in reference to the tutoring, we go into English, math, basically all the classes that they're giving here in the school district. And one of the points is that we work with the teachers, and we have some of the teachers have reported that they're seeing success in the students that are involved with our tutoring program. And I might point out, all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is because of Maria Navarro. She has been the coordinator. She has worked hard to put this program together. It was something of a dream of hers, and she came to me, and I brought it to the Charlie board. And it's not a board that's easily put together. They're all over the country, some even in Nevada. We had a conference call, we have our meeting, and they approved it. They decided to give it a chance. Now, you're asking yourself, how much is this costing Charlie? As it stands right now, we have outlaid close to $50,000 in order to outfit the home, which is at 121 Birch Street. We have spent the money, and we charge just a nominal fee to the parents, which is $5 for the kids to come and get the tutoring program, which in reference to this program, we're getting ready to go into more electronics, e-books. We're going to start outfitting the house to take care of that part. Any other questions?
Thank you. Board members?
Yeah, I have a question. In terms of, I know that at one point we facilitated having snacks through neighborhood house, right, Mr. Kim?
Yes.
Okay. Is that type of an arrangement in place? Would that be possible?
It's possible. In fact, it would be welcome. It's a good point. I'll check with neighborhood house. I have talked to, just today, Walmart gave us a $150 certificate. We already applied for a $1,500 grant, which requires that they have to have the manager there. And I neglected to say, on November the 10th, we're having a fundraiser at the country club, the Barber Wharf. We're bringing the state orchestra from Mexicali, which 3% of the kids perform in the national orchestra. And I was really surprised to find out how many students from Calexico School District performs in that orchestra in Mexicali. And they're going to be performing in Hopeville, and we're putting that program together. And I don't know how many people have heard of Kenny G. One of the group that's in his group is going to be there also. And what we're looking to do is to get all the bands throughout the valley to play along with the orchestra from Mexicali, the state orchestra. So what we're doing is we're bringing the community together for a successful program. But we're learning that by working together, we all learn from each other. And the key is the learning part.
Thank you, Mr. Horton. Thank you.
Is there any more questions, or from the audience or anybody that has any questions? I will be giving reports every so often. I think that this program, and like I said, I give the points to Miss Navarro. She had the vision, and now we're getting into family planning. We're going to be working on a grant program for a certificate from San Diego State. So the program is moving forward, and we're taking an interest in reference to this drug problem. We already had a meeting with the fire department and the chief of police. So we are actively getting involved with it. And it's the point where they'll have people referred to us. And not to be the tutoring part, but another part of the program.
Thank you, Mr. Horton.
Thank you.
Next presentation is Prop 30 by Chad Cooper and Melissa Gamboa.
"26 days till the election, folks. Prop 30 is an initiative that deals with school funding. I'm sure you've all heard of it. At the door, I left some comparisons between Prop 30 and another funding initiative. What I want to point out about Prop 30 is it's the only initiative on the ballot that will help colleges. The other funding initiative will not. The other thing I want to point out is it's already in state law that if Prop 30 does not pass, $439 per student will be cut from a unified school district, which is Calexico, in the middle of the school year. So state's already underfunding us $1,500 per student. That's deficit funded. That will be cut by another $439 if Prop 30 fails. So also in the collective bargaining agreement that was reached by the district and the association last year, the school year will be cut by 5 days if Prop 30 fails. So you guys were talking earlier about, well, all day long in here about education. We cannot afford further cuts. So the only way to make sure that more cuts don't happen at the state level is to vote yes on Prop 30. I also want to point out that the biggest contributor to yes on 30 is the California Teachers Association. You can imagine why, right? If Prop 32 passes, there's a good chance that CTA will not be able to advocate for the students of Calexico and other places. So I'm urging also a no vote on Prop 32. Trying to be brief. Any questions, statements, anything else?
Where's my lawn sign?
Somebody else's lawn.
I have some if anybody wants a Prop 32 or a Prop 30 sign. I just want to convey that at the Latino conference, we have California School Boards Association present there, and they did endorse both of them. Why? I don't know, but they endorsed both 30 and the Mungers, the 38, and they said vote for both. And I'm sitting there thinking, why would I vote for both when I know that the 30 is going to fund universities and is going to fund the public sector also? But they said if one doesn't pass, then the other one's going to pass. Well, if one doesn't pass, the other one's going to pass anyways, right? Because people are going to vote for one or the other. So it didn't make sense that CASBA was endorsing both of them. Another thing is that the initiative on the Prop 30, it will be retro 11-12. The funding will fund us 11-12 school year versus the Prop 38 will fund us 13-14. So for 2 years, we've lost funding. Okay, we're not going to get anything. Mm-hmm. Another thing is that ties in, and Ms. Munger was the guest speaker, which they didn't put her on the agenda because there would have been picketers outside the hotel.
They got a little nervous when Ruth was asking what time she was going to get there.
They got nervous because I wasn't speaking as a board member at that time. I was speaking as my other job. And the connection that a lot of people don't see is that the co-initiator of Prop 32 is her brother. He has spent $40 million on the Initiative 32. On the Prop 32. So my question, which I was forced to leave before the dinner, was going to be how do you want us to endorse this when your brother is killing the unions? So it doesn't make sense. So it funds very well, but it gives full authority. 38 gives full authority to the board to how to distribute this money. But as you can see here, there is items that we can't fund, and we can either not fund teachers, or we can either not fund transportation, or we can either not fund education. We have the discretionaries on how we will use those 38, the Prop 38. But the Prop 30, it's a good for all, and if it doesn't pass, we'll be good this year, next year, but maybe the following year we may not. So thank you for
add one more number. I don't know if I said earlier. The cut to Calexico in the middle of the school year would be $3.8 million.
Yes.
And here's a chart of all the other school districts in the valley. If Prop 30 fails, IVC, which is the only community college in town, will be cut between $2 and $3 million. And that's really important when you're trying to decide which one to vote for. So thank you for your help.
Thank you. And also one thing they did say is that if Prop 30 doesn't pass, 48 districts will go bankrupt by June 30th. They will go bankrupt. So why they're endorsing both of them, I still don't get it.
Because they're disconnected.
They are disconnected.
Before you go on, Madam President, I do want to thank you, Mr. Cooper, for doing this presentation. I'd like to ask that if we as a board can give direction so that a letter is written on our behalf, demonstrating that there is solidarity, at least on this point.
Right, and the Calexico City Council, thanks to Councilman Moreno, who's here, and Councilman Hodge, got that, so we could be a citywide effort.
Okay, so then let's
I don't know, by district seal of approval or something, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, great.
So we can have something like that developed so
Thank
that it
you.
can run in the next couple weeks.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to go walk for that.
Or write a letter to the editor.
Okay, we do have one speaker for that item, Mr. Ureñas. You want to speak?
Good evening. My name is Raul Ureña. I came here to comment on the Proposition 30 that they just mentioned. And I can't say I support it because for two main reasons. Number one, it's a tax. And reason number two is that California doesn't need more money. It needs to cut waste. A prime example with the waste is going to be the prison industrial complex that we have running in our state. We spend much more money on every single prisoner in our prisons than we do per every student. Prisoners get free health care, they get all the good food, they get all the good counselors, while I as a student have the exact opposite. And America has the largest incarceration rate per capita in the world. The reason being is the war on drugs. We're locking up people who are doing peaceful acts like smoking marijuana recreationally, and it's costing the state a lot of money. We need to legalize drugs, all of them, and regulate them like alcohol. This would make our whole state safer, and it'll free funds from the prison so we can use them in more productive areas such as education. For example, Portugal. They legalized all drugs for adults over 21. AIDS doesn't spread as much anymore. People no longer share needles because it's legal. Drug addictions dropped 50% because they, instead of locking up these drug addicts, they now counsel them through government programs. So it has a positive effect both economically and It stops drug addictions. I think ending the drug war would be a much better way to balance the state budget than taxing the productive citizens of California. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ureña. Moving on to item L. Superintendent's approval of each of the following items. I would like to recommend, since we're going back to closed session, to table items 1 and 3 till after closed session. No, I'm sorry. 3 and 4.
Just move them.
Move them to till after closed session.
Not table, right? Just move them.
Well,
Table,
yeah,
yeah.
move them,
Table
table
to
and
the-
move to move them to the end of the closed session, after closed session. That's my motion. Motion by Ms. Duarte, second by Ms. Aguilar.
Second.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item number 1, approved minutes of regular board meeting held on September 27th, 2012.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve by Mr. Valenzuela. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a,
Second by Ms. Romo. Discussion, Mr. Kim?
yes, I have a correction on the page, it's 42. And the action was the certificate employment report. I was followed by no, because we need more steady teachers, and it's not right in there. Even I was mentioning, even after meeting, I was confirmed to put that one in writing too.
On your no vote?
Yes, on my no vote.
Okay. Ms. Burgos, please let that reflect at our, on our minutes for next time.
That his no vote
That
was because
was followed
Followed
by
because we need more teachers with the stable, because that time what we were mentioning up to, I believe, December sometime, the contract. So I was saying it's followed by, say we need more teachers at the stable.
reminder to the board that a yes vote is a yes vote, a no vote is an no vote, and an abstain is an abstention. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Kim?
That's all.
Board members? I'll call for the question.
Hold on a second. It's because I know well, I found an error now. I can't find it. I'll bring it up later if I find it. Never mind.
Okay. I call for the question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Kim?
No.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-1. Accounts payable pre-list, L2.
So move.
So moved by Ms. Romo.
Second.
Second by Ms.
I have a
Aguilar.
question. I have a
also have
question.
questions.
Okay, Mr. Kim?
Page. I can see the much pages. Let me see. Yeah, third of the 14. No, I get the page fourth of the 14 and the bottom, Fiesta Mexican Foods. Purchase the food item for FS department. I think it's financial department.
That's the tortillas?
That's tortillas.
Yes. Fiesta Mexican Foods. That's the tortillas.
Okay, and then the other one is after we spend all this pay list, we're gonna have a $14 million cash, almost not $15 million cash left over. Beside, before the payrolls. Okay, so we have a good cash balance.
Yes,
Thank
Mr. Kim, at this particular point in time after the pre-list, that is our cash balance.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I do have questions in terms of, I noticed that some of the food service postings, it just says, it doesn't provide detail. Let me see. Well, let me phrase it in a question. When they're talking about non-food items, what are they talking about? Because that doesn't tell me anything. In terms
It could
of-
be utensils and those types of things that they use to prepare food, and pans and those types of things that are non-food items. Spoons, napkins.
But that's provided to you?
Pardon?
The description of what's
Yes,
being
and-
bought
and I-
is provided to you?
Yes, and I do have all of the bills and the backed up.
Okay, thank you.
You were referring to which one, Ms. Aguilar?
On page 5, Fulton Distributing, that's one of the, that says purchase of non-food items for the food service department.
Yeah, from 913 to 927,
Mhm.
page 5 of 14.
And it could be also, just supplies used in the food service department, like mops and those types of things.
Okay.
Can we make sure that we have, well, I guess they do inventory when the supplies come in, right? Any other, excuse me?
Mrs. Aguilar, are you done?
I'm done.
Yeah. Anybody else? No? I have an
Go ahead,
item.
Mr. Valenzuela.
On page 7. Reimbursement for mileage for attending state school financial takeover hearing in Gardena, California for Mr. Kim. As I can recall, I think we only approved one board member and the superintendent for that. And it was, originally it was Mrs. Duarte. Mrs. Duarte was unable to go to the conference, and then Mrs. Aguilar was appointed to attend. I don't remember approving any other board member for this. And I would like to make an amendment to the agenda to approve the agenda without this payment, please.
We were adding after we received the letter.
We were what, Mr.?
We were adding the list of after we. First time they come only for the invite board president and the superintendent, and later on they invite so all the board member. And at the time we brought up again, and then we were adding I'm going.
That was at a board meeting?
Yes, at the board meeting.
As I recall, you stated that you were going on your own. You were asked. They asked Dr. Fagali asked if you would travel with us, and you said no, that you would go on your own.
No, I mean individually. I'm not saying own.
That's what I'm saying. That you would
individually, which is I cannot go with someone else. That's what I'm mentioning. Not my own. Not my own expenses.
Well, I don't know, but
Well, I was saying the safety,
all I'm
yes.
saying that's what you. It's recorded there, Mr. Kim. They asked you, and you said that you were going on your own. I don't know whether that meant what you meant, but that's what was said.
I don't remember approving an additional board member, any other board member other than the president or her substitute.
I delegated my duties to
Exactly.
Ms.
So
Aguilar.
this is the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I don't remember approving any additional board member to attend.
Yes, that time. Even right now, Mr. Norma was mentioning, and then
Okay.
you said we don't.
Okay, so we have an amendment to the motion The makers of the motion, would you like to retract your amendment? I mean, your motion, or do you
Yeah,
accept
también.
the motion as stated?
Yeah.
I'm not retracting my motion.
You're not retracting your motion. Ms. Romo, are you retracting your motion? ¿Vas a quitar
Yes.
tu moción? You are retracting
Please.
your motion. Okay. So, Ms. Aguilar has the motion. Mr. Valenzuela, you made the motion with the amendment. Ms. Aguilar, you continued with your second?
Are you putting another motion on the floor, or are we
Well-
going to vote on the one that was placed? So he made the motion.
He didn't make an amendment to the motion. He didn't make the motion.
Who made?
Ms. Romo made the motion. You seconded.
I withdraw the motion. I withdraw the second.
Okay, you withdraw the second. Ms. Romo withdraws the second. Motion dies for no motion.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Valenzuela.
Okay. So do I hear another motion?
Mr. Valenzuela.
Make a motion to approve without this payment. All the previous without this payment.
Can you clarify the payment, please?
Mr. Kim's trip to Gardena, California.
Okay. Mr. Valenzuela makes a motion. Do I hear a second? I'll second the motion.
Well,
All in favor of the motion?
discussion.
I'm sorry.
this is another attack on me, because we were mentioning, even Miss Norma was mentioning the way we were going. I'm going, and then Mr. Valenzuela said that we never approve it.
Okay, if you would like, Mr. Kim, this is not a
Yes.
personal attack on you. I have no reason to attack you.
Yes.
I mean, I sit here meeting after meeting, and you are always concerned about the spending of the school district.
Yes.
And I do not, and I will tell you for the third time tonight, I do not remember approving you going to this
Yes,
presentation.
we was adding the me. We were adding the me. Now Miss Norma Aguilar was misunderstanding my own.
Okay.
But I said I want to go. I want to go individually because my safety. I cannot go with someone else. That's what I was asking.
But that doesn't mean anybody approved it, Mr. Kim.
Oh yes, they approved it. Yes.
Okay. I will call for the question. We will vote on this, and if it dies, then we'll make another motion. I have a motion by Mr. Valenzuela, seconded by myself. All in favor of the motion. Mr. Kim?
Nope.
Mr. Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mrs. Romo? Yes.
No.
Yes. Motion passes 3-1. 3-2.
I would like to request that the video be reviewed as to what exactly was said, please.
Okay. That still won't change the motion.
It
though.
doesn't matter, but I'd like to know for clarity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The
Do you
recording.
want
I think
that
that
for next
time we
board
didn't have a video. I think it's a recording.
Ms. Ambris, can you have that for next board meeting? Okay. Moving on to item number 5. Approve the CSBA 2012 Annual Education Conference and Trade Show for board members, superintendent, and senior executive assistant.
Motion to approve.
I've got a question before we make a motion, Madam
sure.
President. One of the things that I saw at this Latino School Board Conference was that I saw the presence of students, student leadership there, and that was good to see. I don't know if it's possible, and I don't know whether the board would support it, but if we could possibly maybe think about taking a student representative with us to the, if not this time, maybe next time. But I think it would be an eye-opening experience for those students. Or I mean, I'm now obviously we can't take everybody, but perhaps we could work out where we could have a student representative.
Yeah,
And there are workshops for them, correct,
There
Janet?
is.
Yeah. So.
I just want to make sure that for the audience, concern that we didn't put the names of the board members here because of the elections, and this conference will be after elections. So the reservations only for Norma and I and the superintendent have actually been made, and the executive assistant, but we haven't signed up anybody else because we don't know the outcome of the elections. So once we know that, as soon as possible, Ms. Burgos, if you can make the reservations, because it is getting a little more expensive and stuff.
Yeah.
But we have held, well, after this, hotel rooms and stuff, right?
Well, I believe my name's supposed to be reserved too. Yes, I'm still board member.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So, but I'm talking about the
Yes, I understand
incumbents
too.
and the
Yes.
candidates that are running also. Those are the ones that we're talking about.
Madam President, the conference did allow for us to reserve 2 spaces pending board member 1 and 2 because of elections, and they are aware of that. But as far as airfare and hotel, that has not been done.
Yeah, because we
need
have to
names
approve it.
and-
Yeah, we have to approve
And
it.
so your direction is that I go ahead and register Trustee Kim as well?
Yes. Now, that way there's no questions later. I think Ms. Aguilar's item about taking student leadership, a student with us would be a good thing. With this last conference that we had, there was a lot of students. They were by a program, but
There is sufficient time still to register students if you would like
Yeah.
to do so.
And I think we have to talk and see how we do it, by lottery or what, as to a student that would go. But anyways, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion by Ms. Aguilar, seconded by Mr. Valenzuela. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion
Aye.
passes 5-0. Sorry, Mr. Valenzuela. Item number 6, adopt policy and waive first and second readings and adopt as submitted by reading the title only. A Calexico School District Board of Trustees cannot be employed as a district employee, contractor, or consultant after serving as Calexico School District Board of Trustee for a period of 6 years and 1 month after leaving or ending his or her term as a district trustee. And I have one speaker, Annette Butner, on the issue.
My name is Annette Butner, parent, and I wanted to comment on this. When I first saw it, I, kind of questioned it, because it says for 6 years and 1 month, But then more and more as I thought of it, it started to make more sense. Because being a board member is a responsibility. And board members should not benefit in any way from serving on board. And so this is why this makes sense to me, because after you're on board, you serve on board, and then you go from being on board to becoming a district employee. It just doesn't look right, and it just seems like a conflict of interest. It just doesn't look right. And I agree with, I'm a candidate, but it makes sense because it just sends a message that you're on board to serve yourself, to benefit, and especially to the incumbent, consider this because you're up for re-election, and then you vote down a policy where you could end up becoming board members. Well, it kind of looks just funny, so that's why I encourage you to go ahead and approve this, because you're going to show that your interest is not to serve yourselves but to serve our students, and that's the reason you are there. So consider this and approve it. I would. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Butner. Do I hear a motion?
So since I put the agenda, can I explain the vote based on?
Sure, Mr. Kim. We're still in discussion.
Okay. Even the Miss Badner was mentioning, reason I'm saying the 6 years, because that 6 years, 1 month is going to be clear. Any board member cannot be related with when the board member is sitting there as a board member. So there's new board member, wholly new board member, they can make decision without any relationship or influences. And that one. That's why reason I said 6 months and 6 years, 1 month. And the other one is we are transparent, and we are the one we should not be influencing the administration. So we should not make the decision based on what we're going to hire back to them from the administrator. So we have to make the decisions clearly for the benefit of the children and the community. And I believe we have a history here too. In some cases, like board members try to be hired, or some cases like board members working in other districts, and they try to protect, and the other district they try to protect their positions, and hurting our children. And board members should be, when they're making a decision, should be clear with their own self-interested. That's why I put this one in the agenda.
Mr. Kim, by you saying a board member cannot go work at another board member as a board member at another district, what
only Calexico?
I mean, you have to be a board member where you reside.
No, I'm saying the history. We had some board member working other school district as the employee. And
at another school district?
Yes.
There's no conflict there?
No, I'm not saying that one, but I'm just explained what the history was. I'm not saying this one. The conflict of interest is, what I'm saying is, when we're sitting at the board, we are the one making the decision, and we are the one instructing the administrator or employees to what to do, not to do. And after we finish the term, we get hired to working for the district, as we self-benefiting our relations being in the school district. The same region city, they have the limit after the 5 years, like that. So we want to have similar transparency to the community.
Okay. Board members.
May I speak to it?
Yes, please.
I've read it. I heard it. I still don't understand the reasoning behind it. I served this district for 17 years. I don't think I'm going to be coming back, so I have no qualms about voting it down, because I have no interest in coming back to the district I've already moved on into. And I have a problem with us putting limitations as to where a person can apply. It doesn't make sense to me, but I respect your opinion, Ms. Butner, and yours, Mr. Kim, but it doesn't make sense to me, and I'm opposed to this.
Okay. Well, we need a motion before we are opposing. But
Well,
I hear what you're saying.
I also have a comment. I think this is somewhat discriminating against someone. I'm like Mrs. Aguilar. Whether I get reelected or not, I don't think I'm going to be looking for a job anytime soon in Calexico. Being that I'm a union member, I would like to retire with my union, period. So I will not be looking for a job anytime soon in Calexico, and I think this is somewhat discriminatory for anybody else.
Well, I'm not targeting anybody. I'm just trying to make the pathway to our board member can make the decision without any conflict for the future. That's the trying to do. I'm not targeting. I know you have a job, and everybody has a job. I'm not targeting anybody. I just want to have the pathway to, although elected person, they can make the decision with a clear.
Well, on our public comment, I heard that, with all due respect to you, Mrs. Butner, that this is somewhat a benefit to a board member. So, and I'm not trying to attack anyone aboard, okay? I'm not here to benefit myself. I'm not looking for a job after my last day is done and over with as a board member. And this is the reason why I'm not here, like I said, I'm not here to benefit myself at any point in time. That's why I waived my benefits from day one. And it has been a savings to our school district for 2 years almost. It's about $13,600 that the district is not paying for me. And this, if this is not proving to anyone around here that I'm not here for personal interest or personal gain, then I don't know what else I have to do. Should I waive my stipend? I'm willing to do it also. I'm not looking at any point in time from now or 6 years and a month from now to apply for a job in Calexico School District.
So you don't have any problem to approve it too, no? You don't have to
I do
deny.
have a problem with it.
Okay.
Because it's discriminating against
It's
other people.
This is not discrimination. So they already been suing someone else.
We're getting into hot waters here, so I will call for the question. I need a motion.
We need a motion to approve.
I make the motion. Approve it.
You make a motion to approve?
Yes.
Second.
You second the motion? Okay. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
I'm sorry. Motion was made by Mr. Kim, seconded by Mrs. Romo. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
No.
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 No. Motion dies. 3-2. Item number 7, approve the interim superintendent as the authorized agent for interaction with the Governor's Office of Emergency Services and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, related to the April 4th, 2010 earthquake.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Ms. Aguilar, seconded by Mr. Valenzuela. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Number 8, accept the lowest responsible and responsive bid for HVAC replacement and installation and award to R&K Air Conditioning in the projected amount of $296,854.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Ms. Aguilar, seconded by Mr. Valenzuela. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Accept the lowest responsible and responsive bid for Mains Elementary repairs and award bid to Doblado Construction in the projected amount of $385,993.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Ms. Aguilar, seconded by Mr. Valenzuela. Discussion?
Can we get some explain from the staff? Can we get some explanations from the staff?
Yes. Mr. Martinez, can you come up to the podium, please?
Good evening, Raúl Martínez.
Good evening, Mr. Martinez. Mr. Kim?
Yes, Mr. Kim.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to explain why they have how we come up from this Doblado Construction, 3,000.
Okay. In regards to Doblado Construction Mains project earthquake work, we went out to bid and we got 2 bids in. One was Trademark Construction. They were the high bid at $485,368. Doblado Construction was the low responsible bidder at $385,993. The fiscal impact, as how we see it right now, it's at $30,807, and that's based on some calculations that we have, and unless these figures change, and I say because these are the numbers that we have from FEMA at this time. Right now we have roughly monies from FEMA about approximately $653,000. The low bid was $385,993. We have architectural fees for approximately $52,000. We have the inspector of record fees, which will be an additional $55,000. Now, inspector of record, we have actually 2. One, we have the inspector of record, and then we'll have a second inspector, which will be taking care of all the welding for the support structure that's needed on that project. Then we have the Division of State Architect fees for an additional $4,620. We're estimating high for the DSA, ADA accessibility 20% compliance at about $90,000. That leaves us a total of in the black for about $65,000, and that's using FEMA numbers. Now, saying that, we put here as fiscal impact about $30,807. Why is that? The district's match is approximately 6.25% of the total cost. So again, these are all approximate numbers, and that's what I have here, Mr. Kim.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
I think that Doblado Construction, since they kind of started the project and found that the other items, I think they took a really good look at the job, right?
Yes, they did.
Because I'm afraid that this company is going to come back with change orders. This district cannot accept any more change orders. I think they got the advantage of looking at and assessing the problem and making a responsible bid. I have no idea who Trademark Construction is, never heard of it. I hope they're union, and I look forward to working with union companies in this district. But nevertheless, they bid $100,000 more. Why is their assessment so high? I have no idea. But hopefully, Doblado Construction doesn't put us in another bind where we may have to stop the construction again.
Perfectly clear.
Thank you.
But I remember what is the problem was the for the time and the asbestos, no? For the asbestos.
The lead and asbestos.
Yes, lead and asbestos, and then there was a change of scope. There were some chiller lines that were also there that need to be removed.
Yeah.
And in addition, we had the 20% that Division State Architect is required, mandated. So all those things, and then the last final thing was the initial original price from Doblado Construction was from 2 years ago. So they did come down, Madam President. Originally they were like at $435, and now they came down to this number. But I know that Mrs. Donaldson already made it clear to me as far as no change orders, and we all agree with that. I must say that unless
this reason is.
Can you have it in writing?
Well, there shouldn't be any reason. I mean, they've seen it very well. Everybody's seen it. We had a walkthrough. There should not be any reason, except for one, that the division, and this happened at Jefferson, after the Division of State Architect had already stamped the drawings, when they did their field inspections, they gave a field change directive at the time that cost us another $35,000 after the fact. So again, you know, the chances are minute that we're going to have any changes, and in regards to Doblado Construction, it's been clear. We've been perfectly clear with them as far as the board, the district will not accept any change orders.
Okay.
So can be in writing? Can be in writing on the contract?
Well, not necessarily. They already gave us everything in writing, and that's their bid. Okay. Now, anything that they come back to us and want to change has to come through you, and that's not going to happen. I mean, there's not going to be any change orders, not based on anything that they've seen, unless what I spoke about, something unforeseen coming back from Division of State Architect. But that'd be the only thing I can think of.
Okay.
And the more we wait, the more laws they'll put on us.
That's correct.
Okay, so I have a motion by Ms. Aguilar, seconded by Mr. Valenzuela. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Approve original consultant agreement for Angelica Teaeche. Teaeche, sorry. Ms. Ambris or Ms. Mai, can you relate to the board why this item is back on the agenda?
Sure. I tried to write a little brief description, but basically back in January of 2012, the Board of Trustees approve the consultant agreement for $30,000 for Miss Angelica Teachea. On February 9th, 2012, the county office, the county superintendent, Ann Mallory, used her stay and rescind authority and reversed the action of the board. Since then, Mrs. Teachea filed the tort claim, and the district did accept, we went through the settlement process and did accept responsibility that she would need to be paid for services rendered. And in that process, the district has tried to reimburse our revolving cash account because we have paid her in full. In order for the county to release payment to reimburse our revolving cash, they want an approved contract between the district and Angelica Teachea. So this is back on the board agenda to approve the consultant agreement so that we can reimburse our revolving cash.
That they denied.
That they continue to deny until and they've denied it 3 times, by the way, until there is an approved agreement between the district and Mrs. Teachea. There is no additional payment to be made to Mrs. Teachea. We have paid her in full. This is simply to reimburse our revolving cash account, which we've approved that payment, again, 3 times already. So that's why it's back on the agenda this evening.
I don't see the letter I was requesting from the ICOE about 2 meetings ago. When Mr. Fugali was here, Ms. Duarte was mentioning received the letter from the ICOE again. And I don't see the copy.
No, Ms. Mallory told us she had sent us the letter.
Yeah.
The letter never left her office because she said it was addressed to the board president and Mr. Fugali. We never got the letter. But after all, they found out that the letter never left the office. So we weren't notified.
So
there is no letter.
But Mr. Fugali told me he deleted the email.
Yeah, because the letter was not sent from her office.
Okay.
They do make mistakes too.
Is legally approved again the original contract?
Well, we have
for
to in
second time.
Mrs. Romo, we have to, as per Ms. Mallory, just to.
I understand
okay,
I
for
understand.
them to reimburse the
It's not
revolving cash.
it's not my confusion. Is I approved the original contract maybe
and she used
6 months ago. I don't know, 8 months ago, and the reduction is reapprove original contract. It's okay, but I approved 8 months ago.
But she overrode us.
No.
I get her point, and I think.
Her point too.
But I think so.
We have to move on.
No, but let's. I withdraw my motion and I make the motion that to list it as reapprove.
No, reapprove. That's correct.
Because to make the point, the fact that we already did this and they're
You got already made a motion.
Basically, what the county did is they nullified that action.
Yeah.
But for clarification purposes and, as a practical matter, you could revise the language so that you're acknowledging the fact that, the county is giving direction to approve the original agreement. Because essentially we are doing it backwards. We've already paid the funds and now we want to approve the agreement.
But that's because we reapproved this 6 or 8 months ago.
This is the board. Tony is
Yeah, but at the time when this was,
she approved this contract
she had
8 months ago. Okay?
Responsibility over us.
Okay. No
authority.
authority again.
I'm sorry.
Reapprove, yes.
Okay, so make the motion.
I did.
Second.
You made the
I
motion,
made a motion to
reapprove.
modify the language to say reapprove original consultant agreement for Angelica Teachea.
Okay, so the motion made by Ms. Aguilar, seconded by?
Second.
It was Valenzuela.
Mr. Valenzuela, okay.
2 seconds.
Madam President, if I may, I would caution the board that Ann Mallory might not accept the language reapprove because as far as she's concerned, there was no approval because she nullified the action.
And
But we can sure
argument.
try and see
I
if
mean,
she'll accept it that way.
That is my argument. We want We want to do what we believe is right, but you know what?
I
We
would
need
just
to put this to rest.
I would reflect it in the minutes, or if you could just provide a short summary, but I would keep the
language
as it is.
My boss is Mallory.
Yeah.
Come
Well,
on.
the only reason that I would say to say reapprove
Yeah, it's reapproved.
because it is. She's put us through this 3 times, and I get your point.
Yeah.
But also the other thing has to be that we have done our due diligence,
Yeah.
and I leave it to your discretion. If you want to have it as original and do a summary, I have no problem with that.
I have a motion to add the to
You know what?
approve.
I will withdraw my second, and I would amend the motion to leave it as is.
I'll second that.
Okay.
But with adding, like, as if you're stipulating that a summary be added to that
to the minutes.
that we
there
have
was
approved
discussion.
this several times, and based on
Okay.
that.
So then I have a motion made by Mr. Valenzuela, seconded by Ms. Aguilar, to approve the original consultant agreement for Angelica Techea. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Well, I didn't have a chance to discussion.
I think we've had enough.
Well, I think
I
so,
call for
because
the
I've been
question.
every time I've been rejected.
I call for the
So
question.
same time, so we should not
Mr. Kim,
accept
can you
this
make
one.
your
No.
vote, please?
No. No.
Yes. Motion passes 3-2. I don't know why you guys went to. It's late. Item number 11, Memorandum of Understanding between CUSD and ICOE Support Services Department for Nursing Services licensed vocational nurse provided for 2 CUSD students for the 2012-13 school year.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Valenzuela, second by Ms. Aguilar.
I have
Discussion,
questions.
Mr. Kim?
I have a question. This one is still tapping our general fund, or it's going to be special ed funds?
Special ed funds, it's right here, Mr. Kim. Fiscal impact,
Oh, fiscal impact, okay.
yes. I call for the question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item number 12, approve 3 Calexico High School science teachers to attend the National Science Teacher Association Conference in Phoenix, Arizona on December 6th through the 8th, 2012.
Motion to approve it.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Kim, seconded by Mr. Valenzuela. Discussion? Please, when these teachers come back, if they can come back to the board and make a full report of their conference. I call for the question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Approve 7 math teachers from Calexico High School to attend the California Mathematics Council South in Palm Springs, California on November 2nd through the 3rd, 2012.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Valenzuela, seconded by Ms. Romo.
I have a
Discussion?
question. Yes. Why only high school math teachers?
Because they're requesting permission.
Yeah.
Why not the secondary level?
Yes.
They get the same opportunity. If
Yeah.
there's teachers that are interested at the 7th and 8th grade,
Mm.
they put in a request like they did at the high school.
But the only high school math teachers been interested.
And-
7th through 12th grade.
And they requested permission, Mr. Kim.
Good.
So
It's on them to request it.
On their
Yeah.
school
school
to
site.
request. To
Very
request.
good opportunity.
Okay.
I call for the question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Will the same stipulation be?
Same stipulation. I think we have to make it a board policy now.
Yeah.
Anybody that goes to conference has to come back and make a full report. Item number 14, approve 7 K through 6 academic support teachers and up to 6 teachers from Cesar Chavez, Jefferson, and Mains Elementary School to attend the California Reading and Literature Project Training in October 19th to the 20th, 2012, and October 26th, 27th, 2012 at ICOE.
So
Motion
moved.
to approve.
Oh, second.
Motion by Mr. Valenzuela, seconded by Ms. Aguilar.
I also have discussion.
Discussion. Mr. Valenzuela.
Was this opportunity given to the other elementary schools, Mrs. Ambriz?
Yes.
And nobody else?
The original plan was to take the academic support teachers, not all of them can attend. Three of the principals had asked for teachers from their sites to go, and this came here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Have a motion by Mr. Valenzuela, seconded by Ms. Aguilar. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Mr. Mo, I don't hear your ayes.
Aye.
Okay. No la oigo.
Okay.
Agreement between
Yeah.
CUSD and the University of California, San Diego Early Academic Outreach Program, EAOP, for academic services for CHS, Enrique Camarena, Willie Moreno, for the 2012-2013 school year.
So moved.
Motion to.
I'll defer to Mr. Kim and I'll second him.
Okay.
Doesn't
I
matter.
have a motion made by Mr. Kim, seconded by Ms. Aguilar. Discussion?
No.
Hearing none.
Wait,
All in favor?
wait.
Oh,
Hello.
que no se les duerma.
Well, déjame respirar. Just want to make a note. There was question in terms of, how we can provide support services for community college going. This is a great program, and this is a good way of working together with the local higher education program. So, just wanted to point that out.
Okay. Any more discussions? Sorry about that, Ms. Aguilar.
No
All
problem.
in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item number 16, approve the interim superintendent and the assistant superintendent to attend the ACSA academies in Whittier, California.
So moved.
Second.
So moved by Ms. Aguilar, seconded by Mr. Valenzuela. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Approve renewing contract with Edmund Licenses for Item Bank and Test Builder Services for 2012-2013 school year.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Valenzuela.
Discussion.
Seconded by Ms. Aguilar. Discussion.
Why can't we implement this across the board? Can you come to the podium, please? Thank you.
So all of our schools are renewing the licenses except for Calexico High School.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more discussions, board members? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item number 18, approve 6 teachers and 2 administrators from Cesar Chavez Elementary to attend the San Diego Computer Using Educators SDQ 2012 conference on November 3rd, 2012.
Motion to approve it.
Second.
Discussion.
I have a motion by Mr. Kim, seconded by Ms. Aguilar. Discussion, Ms. Aguilar.
Keeping in mind for reference the comments that were made by some of the teachers that attended a similar conference, I know that there was discussion at one point to buy iPads, and I don't know if it ever happened in terms of to be able to be made available to staff. If we do not have that, would it be possible to makes iPads to borrow from a site or whatever so that they could take it and they could be able to use the iPads at the conference?
I'm sure that's probably an option or something you can.
Maybe we could borrow from Jefferson or from Enrique Camarena. You know, just for the duration of the conference, just something like that. I don't know if that's possible.
He has a couple of them.
You know.
What are you talking about? Cesar Chavez has no iPads?
I think that's a great idea. Huh, Mr. Padilla? Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. Or renting.
Hey, make some money, Mr. Padilla.
Mr. Núñez thinks it's a great idea, huh, Mr. Núñez?
Any board members have any other comments?
Yeah.
Why the
Very
only
good
Cesar Chavez? Oh.
Very good recommendation for all elementary schools. For example, for Raquet here. And middle school too, no?
That's it. Okay.
Yeah,
Mr.
so
Kim?
my question is why only Cesar Chavez? Why other school?
Yeah.
They're the only ones that requested it, Mr. Kim, from what I
They're the only
understand.
one.
Mr.
Or
Núñez?
they're the only one given the chance.
Mr.
Well, me personally, I'm a Q member, so if you're a Q member, you get these emails. So I don't know if the other principals got it, but we received it. There's still time to register, so if other schools are interested, it's a great deal. I mean, it's $35 for a group of 5 or more, and plus administrators get free. So I mean, it's a great deal for 114 workshops, and there's a lot of stuff going on out there.
So is that we can report to all those elementary level or school?
May I suggest that maybe at the leadership meetings, when principals find these workshops, bring them to your leadership meeting and share them with your district. I mean, with your colleagues, and that way we won't have to be asking why isn't that school going, or if you guys share the workshops and the money people are in the room, maybe more people can go. but I'm glad to see that we're sending more people to training this year, and we have to look into books also, or CDs, going into a CD or licensing for our books. Anyways, any more comments, board members? I have a motion from Mr. Kim, seconded by Ms. Aguilar. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Agreement for the Mathematics, Engineering, Science Achievement MESA program participation from the 2012-2013 school year.
Motion to approve it.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Kim, seconded by Mr. Valenzuela. Discussion?
Same as with the UCSD one. It's a great program for our school.
I thought you were going to ask why aren't other schools going.
No. Síguele.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 This is in all schools or all
Rub it in, okay? Rub it in.
Ms. Roma, can I have your vote?
I know I need this to sleep.
Can I have your
I
vote?
sleep only 4 hours. Oh my God.
Mrs. Roma, can I have your vote?
Yes.
Yes. Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Good.
Now, it is 9:15. We will reconvene. We will move into closed session, and we will reconvene hopefully before 10 o'clock.
We're going into loopy session.
I need to
stay for the rosary.
Okay, we are reconvening from closed session at 10:10. Aaron?
There was one reportable action in closed session, which was to extend the meeting by 10 minutes, 10:10. Motion by Trustee Valenzuela, second by Trustee Aguilar. Motion passed 3-2 with board members Kim and Romo voting no. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving to item 3, L3, certificated report. Do I hear a motion to approve certificated report?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Mr. Valenzuela. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Aguilar. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Aye?
No.
No. Motion passes 4-1. Item L4, classified report. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve with tabling the health technician.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Valenzuela, seconded by Ms. Aguilar. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Okay. I think that's the end of business, right?
That's it.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah.
Ms. Romo?
This is for the open the position for the superintendent.
Okay. We give direction to superintendent to open the position, to start posting the position of superintendent?
We are not in the agenda.
And it's just direction. It's
Direction.
not approval. It's just
only
direction. Is that the balance of the board?
No.
Agreement
No.
to direct? Or do you guys want to wait a month, 2 months after the election?
I'd rather wait a little more than longer.
Okay. Okay.
2 months.
So then
2 months.
we'll consider it next meeting then. It is 10:12, and I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you for coming.